Hey guys, welcome back. I got a couple of Larva games here for us to take a look at today. We've got Larva over here in the bottom right. First up is HBQ. Bit of a ladder monster, HBQ. See him in a lot of different replays playing against so many different pro players. Pretty strong Terran player, but I don't think he's quite ready for Larva, who's been training hard in preparation for the ASL, but we'll see. Maybe he can surprise me here. I'm mostly interested in seeing what kind of shape Larva's in right now, because I put him on my tier list pretty high up. I put him as, I think, the top of B tier, just because he has not been so active recently. But I put him above a lot of other great players, and so I'm curious to see what his performance is like. I did that ASL tier list on my stream just a couple of days ago. I'll probably end up putting a video out about it here soon on my YouTube channel. But I also did a stream today. Oh my gosh, I did a stream today and got absolutely brutalized. I think I lost every game just about on stream. I think I might have won like 1 or 2 games. It was horrendous. Sometimes you just get those days though, man, like where just nothing seems to work and everything seems ridiculous. Everything is just going wrong. And it can be very hard to get out of that funk when things are really hurting. I lost to a probably a Smurf, but it was a D rank Terran player who 8-raxed me. Kind of like what this guy's doing right now. HBQ. Gonna send the first Marine across the map. Try to put on some pressure. We actually saw action go down in the qualifiers of ASL this season. To a bunker rush. Was pretty bad in one of the games. He lost. I can't remember who exactly it was against, but in one of the games, the bunker targeted. He made a bunch of lings to kill the bunker, and then the bunker just targeted all the drones and killed 6 drones while the lings were attacking. It was insane. So much damage came through. It was absolutely ridiculously unlucky, and unfortunately, that just did not work out for him. Sunken Colony on the way here for Larva as he pops out a couple of lings. He does attack his own Sunken Colony for a second there. That's probably not how you want to do it. Gonna surround this bunker now with the lings. Gonna pull the drones and run them through. You can see the bunker. You can't target the bunker. It just kind of randomly targets different things that are in range. And so instead of targeting something that would be good for Larva, like, for instance, the Sunken Colony, it actually targets down a couple of extra drones, which is a bit frustrating. And now he's pushing back across the map. He's managed to hold on to everything, and he's kept the Sunken Colony alive, which is actually quite useful. Will regain some of that HP here as time goes on. Cannot get past this wall. Of course, HBQ setting up that wall behind this. Can be completely safe with just 1 Marine. Second Marine pops out here. He's got an SCV for the repair on that supply depot. You can see he was gathering up these workers, thinking that he might have an opportunity to maybe dive in and try to kill that supply depot. But with the worker, or with the SCV there and the 2 Marines behind the wall, it's just not going to be possible. 2 SCVs out on the map. They're going to be sent back home here in just a moment. Layer gets started. Everything gonna get pushed back here for either player. Both players going to be a little bit behind the curve in terms of just their build orders and getting all of their tech and transitions online. HBQ just gonna be building up this Marine count. Gonna finally run the SCVs back home. Wants to be very careful not to let any lings slip through. So he lifts that off only for a second as the SCVs arrive at that wall. 2 racks follow up here from HBQ, who probably got enough damage. I think he got enough damage with that 8 racks to make it worth it, but he definitely didn't cripple Larva. Larva is completely fine. He's going to be able to get into a 2.5 hatch with a spire coming up here shortly. He's already got the sunken colony at the front. If he adds another couple sunken colonies, he'll be safe against this 2 racks push that's going to be coming here soon. And yeah, he is looking fantastic. Was kind of a wild game, actually, the one I was talking about earlier. I played on ladder after losing a ton of drones to the early 8 racks. I went for a lurker bust with a ton of lings, and I almost managed to win that game. In fact, it would have gone to a tie, but of course the Terran buildings can float, and I was playing on stream, so I just ended the game. I managed to get in there and kill pretty much everything except for the floating buildings, but I didn't have enough money to make my own hatchery, so I couldn't try to recover from that position, unfortunately. HBQ out on the map now. Trying to get rid of these Marines. He still has the wall. Kind of surprised to see Fighting Spirit here. I just have Fighting Spirit always vetoed. This is a very recent game, just within the last week or so. You can actually take a look at exactly when this was played. It was played on August the 6th. So very recent game there. But yeah, I haven't seen Fighting Spirit for so long. It looks old to me. I always have this map vetoed. I never want to play on this map ever again in my entire life. Played way too many games here. But it remains. For whatever reason, it's still here. It's still in the map pool somehow. Larva gonna move in now with his initial 8 Mutalisks. Gonna dive right on top of this bunker, it looks like, going after it. Jump out and dive back in after the stim here for HBQ. Marines coming down to reinforce this position, but the supply depots are now exposed. It'll be very difficult to hold on to those supply depots at this point. Coming in and picking off. Oh god, there's no turrets over the ramp. Uh-oh. HBQ might just straight up lose because of this. With no turrets here to cover the ramp and the production area, he's taking a very big risk. One supply depot goes down. If I'm Larva here, building non-stop mutas is going to be my choice. Just keep the pressure on and start to kill off more and more Marines. He's going to dive on top of those Marines, forcing them back into the bunker. Base over in the top right-hand corner is done. And the transition is underway now. Hydralisk Den over there in the natural. Looking good. Science facility coming up here. Looks like he might be doing a tank push. That could be a thing here. Larva tried to make the Queen's Nest. Looks like he tried to do it again and it failed. Very annoying stuff. Finally going to get that Queen's Nest on the way. This could actually hurt him quite badly. The fact that that drone failed to make the Queen's Nest twice could actually be quite impactful with the tank push coming up. HBQ may have a larger than normal window of opportunity to go ahead and deal the damage before any defilers can come out to stop that. We haven't seen him fly deep inside the base here just yet to actually see that the tanks are being produced. And so might not know anything about this. Come up to the front now, taking a quick peek. This one is done. First vessel is on the way. A radiate upgrade coming here as well. Gonna wait for 3 tanks, I assume. That's pretty normal timing to wind up going across the map and trying to put on that pressure. Any additional sunken colonies being thrown down here? Not yet. I don't think he's aware of the game plan just yet here from HBQ. Carapace upgrade on the way. 37 workers, and some lurkers are going to be planted here over top of this third base. That ramp will be defended. A lot of Lings here, ready to take an engagement. Does he want to take a fight with this big clump of units, though? I think Larva may just see this now. Yes, he does. He sees the tank push coming. Putting everything together. Is it time to take an engage? There is one radiate, which makes things very hard. Mutas are going to fly around and perhaps go for a counterattack here. Bunch of Sunkens getting set down in emergency mode here. Larva needs to make sure that he can delay this a little bit, but unfortunately for him... Oh, okay. Lurker, hold position, is going to buy a little bit of time. Big attack over here into the main base as these Lings can go ahead and start to clear things out. Meanwhile, over at the natural, Sunken Colonies are going to finish up in the nick of time. Just a couple Sunken Colonies here. He can slowly push through that. Looks like he's starting to hit that tank there, but everything going to be killed in just a few short seconds. Here's the lurkers popping out. Going to drop back and burrow. Going after the tanks now. Can he actually get them both? He does. Gets both the tanks and hangs on to the position. Can he move the lurkers into the right spot here to keep this all alive? Lurker going to burrow here. Lurkers coming up from behind. This is the lurkers from way over at the top right-hand corner. A lot of these mutas are going down to just 4 mutas here. Reinforcement wave comes forward and actually gets completely wiped out. Great move by Larva to bring these lurkers up and just burrow them in the reinforcement pathway. Gonna kill a lot of these medics as well, it looks like. A lot of medics going down here. And I gotta put on D&D. Sorry about that, guys. I usually have D&D on, and I just wasn't thinking about it this time. Oh, that's funny. A Radiate goes down on the Muta, and he uses the Muta, the Radiate, to clear out those final few medics. Quite a lot of action in this game so far. Still, HBQ with 57 workers. He's sitting here on his 2-base economy, getting a second starport. A lot of craziness has happened, but Defiler is going to be done here soon. More lurkers getting made. And 40 workers in total here for Larva. Means he's still got a very good economy. More tanks are continuing to increment out here. Get a kill on one of these vessels. Not quite going to be able to get that. Radiate on the Defiler. Unfortunate for Larva that he sent those Scourge out so early. Otherwise, he should have been able to push back that vessel, at least trade a vessel for that Defiler at the very least. But as it stands, 3 vessels are now out. Egg on the ramp. Is that... I think that's right. It looks right to me, just to my eyes. I've played quite a lot of positions like this, and I've also done some use map settings, practice maps that kind of simulate this, and it does look correct to me. Oof. Quite a few Marines go down with that final lurker attack. Where is the Defiler now? 2 of them are about to pop out. And there is one moving over towards the top right base. Okay, gonna come up here on the high ground. Time to push forward with the Dark Swarm coming down. He will be able to clear all of this good stuff. Getting into a spot now where he can start to push his way up to a 4th base. Good job by Larva. And HBQ on the defensive here, falling back, getting into double expansion. Ooh. Well, this is the sign of a very strong Terran player. While all that chaos is going on, and he's still putting on pressure with these tanks. Double expansion. He's got a bunker over here. He's got some Marines in position to defend. Big rounds of SCVs coming out here. He's gonna eke out as much as he can from these low mineral patches. These mineral patches here are going to continue to bring in that income, while the majority of the workers get transferred over to these fresh bases. So he's going to be on 4 base economy for quite a long time. Very good mineral smoothing here. Extra starports are coming down as well. Going to keep building supply depots here and reaching an even higher level of supply already at 134. More bunkers coming down. He's actually building barracks over here, which I'm not a huge fan of. I like it more. Well, in my games, I don't like it. But for Terran players to build a bunch of factories here and just start putting tanks on that high ground, it's so hard to deal with. It really takes a lot of finesse. Either that or like a Mutilus switch. You know, drops though, putting out drops and trying to get on top of that stuff is very difficult. It takes, again, a lot of finesse. You really have to use a ton of actions to get that going, and it doesn't always work. Big... Oh, that was crazy. You see those Marines suddenly go running up north. That's a bit of a glitch. So much plague damage on all of these Marines, and you can see no energy on this, which means most of the medics and Marines are going to be at almost no HP. It just stuck there with no health left. Ton of hatcheries have come up now, and the 4th gas is going to come online here, but Larva... he's just now getting... Oh, he's got +2 carapace done, but he's just now getting his Ultraless Cavern made. I'm going to start pumping out those Ultras. So much bio here for the Terran player. Another amazing plague. Wow. Great plagues there. Expect nothing less from Larva. This guy is a late game monster. Absolute monster. Gonna get a kill with that spore. We'll see how many kills the spore gets. Only 1 so far, but there's a lot of low HP vessels here in the stack that could very easily wind up getting picked off. Triple lurker underneath this Overlord. Overlord gonna be irradiated here. That's doing its job by just eating the spells. He's going to come out for another plague here, it looks like. He's just been softening up this army over and over and over again. Scourge is going to come forward. Can he actually get that? He will. Nicely done there. Quite a few vessels at the front. Looking for those irradiates on the Defiler. But here comes a Muta. Single Muta making its way out. He's going to be able to get a bunch of kills here. All right, only 1 so far, but he actually needs to go forward. Okay. Will not be able to get that. Dark Swarm is thrown down. Oh. What did I miss? Must have been an eraser trick. I will picture that over here at about 18 minutes in. No burrow upgrade that I've seen anyway, so that's quite annoying. When are we going to see some battle cruisers coming across the map? I thought that was going to be soon. My goodness. Okay, there's the battle cruisers. A lot of them being put together. Oh my goodness, just cracking right through. Wait a second. HBQ just going to break this position. He's breaking through the 4th base, and he's hitting the 3rd base. What is going on right now? Am I missing something? Is this another broken replay? You've got to be kidding me. So I went back and watched, and no, this is not a broken replay. This is just an insane bust from HBQ with 100 supply above his opponent. Larva just not able to keep up with this guy. He didn't have a Defiler in position in time, and he just gets completely broken here. Gonna have a big plague on a lot of these Marines and Firebats over at the bottom of this ramp. I think these lurkers got an insane number of kills, by the way, as well. 11, 8, and 4. So kind of just attacking into this natural ended up costing him quite a few units. But the kill on the 4th base is astronomical. It's huge. There's almost no way of coming back from this. Larva just, like, even Larva can't hold on occasionally against a competent Terran player, just putting on the pressure. That's crazy. HBQ really showing up in this game as well. I don't really think about HBQ much when I think about strong Terran players. He's like at the very back, very bottom of the list. Kind of funny that the drone just like disappeared. Houdini drone there. Completely disappeared when that hatchery was canceled. Another drone gonna come down now. He's gonna try to retake this 4th base, but HBQ is so far ahead at this point. It's nearly impossible. Look at how many Firebats are coming out here now. Firebats with their +3 attack, absolutely ravaging all of these Lings. And now 4 battle cruisers on the way at a time. 2 battle cruisers already out here and pushing across the map. Another Great Plague, but Great Plagues are not gonna cut it, man. I mean, we've seen so many Great Plagues this game, it's hard to believe that we're in the situation we're in with HBQ about to win this thing. But here we go, tons more Lings popping through. Can he actually save the 3rd base? Doesn't really look like it. HBQ still pushing up onto this high ground, bringing up more and more Firebats. Marines are getting some great value here. More Lings pop out though. Okay, maybe he barely holds. Needs another Great Plague here and a Dark Swarm to make this happen, but no, too many kills on these Marines. Some of these Marines got to have so many kills. Look at that. 9, 11 kills on that. Kills the Nidus Canal, and that's got to be it. With no more connection between the main base and this 3rd, there's basically no hope at holding on to everything. Kind of funny, the Lings here are going to actually hold. 7-kill Ling there. Pretty rare to see 7 kills on a single Ling, but there it is. Defiler going to go ahead and consume. Get down another Plague on a bunch of these units. Firebats going to make their way forwards here, and that should be it. As the Firebats clear out all the drones, Larva's going to be taken down, and yeah, Larva a little rusty for sure. Having a hard time holding up against HBQ, somebody who's, I don't think, ever made it into an ASL. Of course, he could be entertaining at the same time, but there it is, game number 1. HBQ looking to be an absolute monster. I don't know if Flash took control of his PC during this game or what, but man, did he ever macro like an absolute beast. Let's jump into our next game. All right, game number 2 here with Larva spawning over in the top right-hand corner, Sky in the bottom right. There's some more ladder players for Larva to cut his teeth on, sharpen up his skills, and prepare for this upcoming season. That's interesting, going to do a 9-pool build with an extractor trick to get that 10th drone. We're gonna have that pretty quick 6 Lings popping here for Larva. Try to put some pressure on early. Fortunately for Sky, pretty quick forge here. Not getting super greedy and trying to get like an early Nexus or something like that. I was hoping that we were gonna see more games with the new maps, actually, since they're in the map pool now, but it seems like maybe these pro players having a lot of those new maps like Litmus vetoed, at least for now. We'll see though. Might be able to see some of those games coming up here soon. I might actually just go searching for some of these because I'm very curious about how these guys are playing on these new maps. Some of them are just downright annoying, honestly. Frustrating to deal with, like Litmus. That map is pretty weird. You've got the double gas inside your main base, and it allows the Protoss player to just kind of sit in power for so long and get so many Corsairs and High Templars. It's pretty insane. Gonna be taking his 3rd base now at 14 supply. And hasn't been able to even locate, I think, the Protoss player. He doesn't even know that he's down here in the bottom right-hand corner. But at least the adequate respect has been given by Sky. Double cannons over here at the natural to make sure that this 9-pool can't do any damage. Still, this is not a favorable position for Larva. don't want to make 6 lings and get nothing done with them, especially if you can't even block the probe scout. Limiting yourself in terms of drones by quite a bit. And so we'll see how Larva transitions out of this situation. He's got the 6 lings. He's going to continue to pump drones, getting an overlord here, getting into his gas geyser as well. Will we see a hydroden, or is there going to be a layer on the way? That is the question. Cyber core nearing completion. I don't think you can get away with a layer here. I really need to look up these timings for myself. But yeah, he's not going to be going for that layer. Instead, getting into a speed build with the potential for a Hydralisk Den to come down soon. When I play like this with the Hydra Den, I like to get the 4th hatch a little bit faster. But he's going to be sitting here on 3 hatches for now. And should be throwing down a Hydra Den any second. Okay, there's the 4th hatch. 4th hatch. A little bit behind where I would have expected. And see, the gas is really banking up here. I feel like Larva's not really taking it seriously. He must be streaming when he's playing these games. Guys, some things are definitely going wrong here. Here comes the Hydralisk Den. Ling's coming up here to the north to deal with these 2 zealots. Pesky zealots here. Gonna get a kill on a drone. Can he get a second one? I think he will. Oh, just barely not. Barely being able to keep pull that away. And so with 1 drone kill, that zealot is going to end up going down. Does manage to get, I think, 1 more ling there behind the mineral patches. Not too sure on that, though. Hydra Den. Going to be starting that upgrade any second, and there it goes. +1. Nearing halfway. A few Hydras need to be made just to keep the overlords alive. This one probably going to be sacrificial. Not really too much you can do about that. Probe going to be killed as well. Full on droning mode right now for Larva as he banks up quite a bit of minerals. Does need a overlord here, and that overlord will get started in just a moment. Or excuse me, finish up here in just a moment. Going into a 5th hatchery now. Of course, evolution chamber on the way as well. I don't know if he has a pre-storm Hydra bust opportunity here. It looks to me like not. But he could start to really chunk out the Hydras pretty quickly here. At 35 drone, I don't think it's going to happen. He's done a little bit too much droning here, and so there should be enough time to get these storms out before he can really start to threaten the front with that group of Hydras, with the big group of Hydras. So it seems like Larva wants to take this a little bit longer. Gonna go into the 6th hatchery now. And, of course, making that overlord over here at the 3rd base. Maybe a little preemptively. It's not quite necessary yet, as the Templar Archives just now finishing up. So right around this time. Basically what you do when you do a Hydralisk bust or a build like this is you want to have overlords basically all sitting right around this position. Funny that he hasn't lost this overlord. That overlord is actually quite important. If you end up losing that, then there's really no way of attacking into your opponent until this upgrade is finished, that overlord speed. And so it's very important that Sky actually kills that. He is going to find it now and should be able to shut that down. Very important that he finishes this off. Oh my gosh, he's not going to get it. Well, that's a little bit crazy, but Sky going to come out now with some zealots. There's no pre-storm Hydra bus coming, and so he actually doesn't need to worry about that for now. He doesn't need to worry about this overlord, at least for the time being. Looks like he will find it now. Okay, that's very important. Getting rid of that. 43 workers here for Larva, really hitting his macro stride now. Just going to go ahead and lose 1 drone, but Hydra's in high enough numbers to keep these zealots back at least. Has 5 gateways for now. With 50 workers, you can really start to pump out the gateway count. Going up to a total of 7 for the time being. DT over here in the top right hand or top left hand corner. That's going to be very annoying. Drone goes down. Denied. Fourth base will not go up, at least for now. Storm definitely is done here. Just going to go ahead and blanket these Hydras. Time to pull back. Let those Hydras at least recover a bit of health. Because if you take an engagement now with a bunch of Zealots, those softened up Hydras are going to pop so quickly. Overlord heading over to top left. Looks like he spotted the DT, but I'm not sure if he really spotted it or not. Full saturation now on all of these bases at 48 workers. He's ready to continue producing non-stop. This is a build I really like, actually, what Larva's doing. Going into 10 Mutalisks now, he knows that there's not a lot of Corsairs. He's removed the Corsair threat, and it's just going to be pure Dragoon being added to the army now. So dice with Mutas can be really strong at a point like this. Sitting back with Hydras over here on the high ground. Oh, is he going to see this pesky Dark Templar? The Ninja Dark Templar there in the corner is actually going to survive. He sees with the Corsair that Mutalisks are now out. A big stack of Mutas is moving across the map now. Will he be able to get the connections on these High Templar? At least this is going to drive Sky back into his base for the time being, flying directly in and directly on back out. Not really going to be getting too much done with these Mutas, at least for the time being. There might be some High Templar popping out here in a moment. Going after the Photon Cannon now. Going to get that pretty quickly. Starting to pick off a few of these probes. Is there enough Storm energy? Yes, there is. Storm goes down, but the High Templar falls. Flying through here. Another great Storm. 2 more Storms go down. That's quite a bit of Storm energy used. But at least those High Templar are still alive. At the bare minimum, still alive for now. A lot of Hydras moving through this map now as Larva just macros up like a beast. I didn't see where that DT went. Might have actually ended up going down. Maybe it tried to walk into one of these bases. Not entirely sure. Might picture that so that you guys can see what happened with it. But Hydras here fighting from the high ground. This is a bit of a difficult situation. Micro, a lot of these Hydras here, and this is looking pretty darn strong for Sky. He is probably going to punch directly through this as long as the Zealots get to the front. Yeah, Zealots actually got to get up here and start to push back these Hydras. But a few more Hydras have been made at the rally point. Overlord's starting to die off here as the rest of these forces retreat. Nice little clump of Hydras there, going to push everything back. Not enough for a Storm, but only a few more seconds and he will have it. A few more seconds here on this Storm. There's a few more seconds here on this one. There's the Storms coming out and ripping apart these Hydras. Dragoons pushing through and moving over towards this rally point. Going to come down the ramp, and 3 Lurkers is not quite going to cut it here. I'm sad to say. The Observer living on just 6 HP. Hydras coming forward to try and stop this. He does get the pick on that Observer. Critical pick there to actually get the kill on the Observer. Now, Sky could actually move to assault that top left, though. Does he have any Zealots? Yeah, if he sends these 5 Zealots to top left, the base is just going to die, and he knows it. He's sending them up there. Just going to kind of contain the Protoss player. Or excuse me, contain the Zerg player in what looks like a Zerg contain, honestly. Usually you would see Zerg sitting on this high ground and Protoss trying to push up, but it's going to be a reversal of the roles in this game. All the drones are going to be pushed away. Some Hydras have managed to slip out on the map, but I don't think they can quite save this hatchery. It's very close. But I think it's just barely going to fall here. Hydra's running up, trying to get over here in time, but there it is. It's going to end up going down. Looks like some potential picks here. Looking to bait some of these Dragoons in. They weren't on hold position, so he actually gets a little bit done with that. High Templar coming forward, throwing down some Storm. There's one Observer with this army. Does manage to kill all the Zealots, but that fourth base going down is brutal. With the third base online here for Sky, Larva is hurting. Can he pull out a miracle game here? Find a way to win this. He's just sitting on Lair, which generally when you're talking about Lair versus Gateway Man army, which there really isn't anything other than Gateway Man in this matchup. I guess you can go for... Okay, there's a pause. You can go for Reavers. But in this portion of the game, just sticking on Dragoon, Zealot, and High Templar is definitely the best. He's going to bait the army, actually, to come off that high ground. Pretty good play by Larva to get him out of position. Sky was not expecting the sudden thrust forward here from Larva to come and take over this high ground right outside of his natural. He will push everything back here, moving forward with the Lurkers. Can he get into a good position? Try and get on this high ground, force Sky to fight up another high ground here potentially. More storms are going down. These are some great storms. Oh, not the greatest spread on a lot of these Lurkers here, and so everything's just going to get rolled back and pushed in by Sky. Sky breaking through a lot of this stuff. And yeah, okay, another pause. This time I believe it's from Sky. Sky trying to look for a pause here. I wonder if these guys are actually respectful of the pauses. I think they would be. But when I play on ladder, nobody respects the pause at all. I died today to a FedEx package, guys. Amazon got me. Jeff Bezos is undefeatable. Amazon package arrived and I asked for a pause. We waited until I got up out of my chair and then immediately unpaused and ended up winning the game. Of course, a Protoss player. What do you guys expect? Gonna be pushing forward here just that little bit more. +1, +2 is done. +2 is done here for these Hydras. They're getting pushed in all the way back to this rally point, bringing everything up. It's like he's found those 4 Hydras down at the bottom. It's so close right now. He's almost gonna hold this, guys. I'm telling you, these Dragoons are really gonna start falling quickly. But here comes another round of Zealots to go ahead and reinforce his position. He's targeting down Observers right now. There's only a couple more Observers left. Can he get the last one? He does get it. He gets the last Observer. And so the Lurkers will be holding. I don't even know what happened there. Why did my screen go to the main base of Larva? I'm not sure. I didn't click the minimap or anything like that, but there it is. Ghosts in the Machines is what we'll chop that up to. We got Larva here with quite a good quantity of drones in top left. He's honestly doing fantastic, but barely alive. It's funny. You could be way ahead in workers. Actually doing really well on upgrades. You can see he's kind of hanging in there in terms of upgrades. He's actually going to be 2-1, where it's a 1-2 here for the Protoss player. And Larva is just like nearing, he is so near death right now. It's kind of crazy. And at any point, if Sky had sent some Zealots in those reinforcement waves up to the top left and just killed like all these drones or forced them away, killed the hatchery, this game would probably be over now. But Sky kind of roaming with the army, setting up for a pretty decent pincer maneuver here, actually. As Sky moves through the middle of the map, we might see Lurkers unburrow. Hydras get pulled together and just fall upon this Protoss army that's moving through the middle and up towards that top left. Here we go. Forcing out a storm here at least. Moving, rotating these Lurkers around. Wants to get out ahead of this Protoss army. He's going to burrow now. Pretty stacked up overall with these Lurkers. The Lurkers very stacked here. Going after the... Oh, the Observer, he does get it. He gets the Observer. Big kill there with the Observer. And he's got a bit of a flanking army. Unfortunately, most of these Hydras are not in position. Another observer moving forward. Can he actually break through this? That's so much Protoss. I think he's going to be able to get through. Oh, another observer coming forward here. 2 more observers in the army. And so the lurkers will end up going down. Hydra's being pulled over here towards the top left, but Sky is just kind of dominating him now. He does need to get another base online here shortly, and so is kind of running out of money. My God, that was such a good storm. That storm was absolutely brutal. I'm just going to come up from behind here. Lurker egg block on the ramp. I think these zealots can actually run past, but it doesn't matter. Archon can cut through that pretty quickly. Double observer here on the high ground, so just making lurkers is not going to quite cut it. Of course, he does not have a hive, so not really going to be able to transfer any units over to the top left to try and save that location. Lurkers are going to burrow and immediately get killed. Instant death there for those lurkers. Hydras coming up from the low ground. The drones will have to be pulled. And GG is called. There it is. Larva loses 2 games. 1 to HBQ and 1 to Sky. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting Larva to do a whole heck of a lot better than that. And I'm still hoping that he can do very well this season in ASL. But this was a bit of a bop here. Now, there were some moments where it seemed like Larva was close to fully stabilizing, but it never felt like Sky was really in trouble. And he was constantly, like, maybe now I guess he's starting to be in trouble because he's only on 1 base. If Larva had just barely been able to hold on to everything and prevent this base from going down, then he probably would have been in a good position, but that's neither here nor there. Larva getting a teeny bit bopped by these ladder monsters, and we'll see if he can sharpen up his play before the ASL season hits. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.